PCS Laundry Live, Friday night, April 5th, week number 9. The weather is cold and rainy and shitty, and I don't like it. So, make me feel better, because it's crappy out. This is bullshit. It's supposed to be like 65 degrees. It's April. Cut this crap out. This sucks. Hey Brenda, hey AJ. We are today about a half a mile away from the Lexington Laundromat in White Plains, New York, where my laundry is currently in the dryer cooking while I'm here talking to y'all. And I did a little recon before the show, walking around trying to find a dry place to do the thing from. I did it. I think this is the library, if I'm not mistaken. It's the White Plains Public Library, part of it anyway. I thought it was across the street. I know right next door is the Westchester County Courthouse. So, I don't know. Let's get on with it. It's going to be good. It's going to be fine. I hate this weather so much, and I'm so tired of it. And it's got to stop. I need some 70s, man. I went back to boots. Look at this. I took the sneakers back off, which I hate doing. I'm glad I didn't go to shorts, because that would have really pissed me off. I had to go back to jeans. But enough bitching. Let's get on with the festivities. First of all, as always, thank you all for your never undying support of Planet Common Sense and PCS Laundry Live. Your help is invaluable. Growth's been fantastic. Everybody's jumping in and saying their thing and enjoying themselves, as far as I can tell. Except for a miscreant here and there, but we deal with that and try and keep it low. So there's a number of things we can talk about. Definitely, I want to talk about that statue over there a little bit. So if it's not raining too hard, we're going to go over and talk about it, because it's kind of funny. But, yeah. I said it during the week. Like, it feels like we're just in a holding pattern right now. We had the big bomb a couple of weeks ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever the hell it was, with the Mueller stuff. And nobody's moving now. Like, nobody knows what to do. Well, the Democrats haven't known what to do for 150 years, but it's just like nothing's happening. And it feels like a malaise. It feels like I'm not connecting, because there's nothing like super, super compelling to talk about. But the little things pop up, and we'll jump the little things, and I'm sure you guys got plenty of ideas and things you want to talk about. So I apologize for the not particularly engaging scenario around us, the scenery around us. There's not much to look at here. But like I said, it's raining, and I'm not going out in the rain and standing there like an idiot. I'm staying dry. So we'll go to the scroll, and we'll see who's here, and we'll see what you want to talk about, and we'll take it from there, because it seems to be working so far. So we got Mona Eves, we got V. Marie, Callista Ramirez, Mike Petty, Candy Lundberg, Linda Bleefnick. Welcome to the weekend, everybody, from Linda. What's up? Deborah Patera is back with us this week. Susan Palmer, Terry, Bessie Dotson, Mary Gunny, 54 in Grand Rapids, partly cloudy, and I have a drink in my hand. All right, so rub my nose in it there, Mary. I'll have a drink in my hand later, and it'll be warmer, so we'll get to that. So, guys, what you got? AJ Hunkley, I am moving to Port St. Lucie. Fuck New York. I saw that during the week, man. Congratulations on your new house, AJ. That's awesome. Awesome on getting out of New York. Awesome on getting out of this hideous, disgusting, inhuman Arctic weather in April. It's like fucking 40 degrees out. It's ridiculous. So, everybody, congratulations. Thumbs up to AJ, man. Good job on that. Congratulations on the house. All the best to you with that. I hope everything works out and goes nice and smoothly. What else we got? Bessie's got 59 in Ohio. Betsy Baliva Abel. Hello from down under. I did not know. Oh, okay. Smarty pants. I'm not in Australia. I'm just, well, never mind where I am. Down under is not maybe the best thing to say you are here on Planet Common Sense. And then say, not Australia, because anybody could go any place with that. but I'll let it go. Anybody else wants to jump that, go for it. Please remember that I'm not going to see every post that comes up. It moves pretty quick, especially when you get a lot of people in here. So if I don't see your comment, it's not that I don't love you. I just didn't see it. Saturday mornings, we get back to business, and I'll go back and I'll readdress everything. And we'll take a look at the comments, and I'll answer any of your questions. Here we go with the crap lighter again. And here we go with people texting me. Deborah Patera, still 3 feet of snow in my house. Where are you with 3 feet of snow? That's outrageous. We didn't get 3 feet of snow all year here, but that sucks. 3 feet of snow, that's like the most depressed. I get depressed with this. I mean, the weather's just been dragging on, and it's just sitting in the 40s. We got 1 or 2 days in the 60s. It's been sitting in the 40s. I hate that weather. That's the worst. I'd rather it be 20 degrees than a foot of snow on the ground. Because at least you can say, all right, it's fuck it. It's winter. Stay inside, man. It's like winter time. It's not winter. Cut the shit out, man. Like, give me my 60s. We'll go to the beach. And wear less clothes. All right. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield. Oh, my God, I made it. Hello, all. South Carolina here. Welcome, Elaine. Good to see you. Hi to everyone. Dwayne Darla Elkins. That's, I'm guessing, 2 people. I think we said that last week. 16 Indiana. Okay, so everybody's got better weather than me. I get it. F everybody. Come here and stand outside in the rain doing this. It's all right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to say F everybody. Dina Van Buskirk Kane. Hello from Southern California. Welcome, Mr. President. You got president out in California today? Didn't see the itinerary. You know what I saw today, and I didn't get a chance to. I looked at it a little bit, and it was kind of weird, and I want to get your take on it. If anybody watched Tucker Carlson the other night, I don't even know what night he's on because I don't know. I don't watch TV. And I'm going to be honest with you right up front, and this is probably going to ruffle a few feathers, but not a huge Tucker Carlson fan. I don't hate the guy or anything, and I'll tell you why as we go along. But let me tell you what I saw today, and if anybody saw it, just give me a spin on it. Where Tucker Carlson had said something about maybe Donald Trump does not want to get reelected. And the first thing that came to me from that, I'm saying to myself, this is Fox News, man. This is like, I get it. Sean Hannity's like got the right message, and Tucker's got the right message, and a lot of them, but it still comes back to Fox News. And that just, I'm not taking much of what they're saying without a grain of salt at this point, because I just think it's a bunch of bullshit, and I think they're setting us up. But Tucker saying that just struck me as funny, and I don't think it's the right thing to say. I don't think it's the right message to try and put out there. Not to not talk about it. I mean, if anybody feels that way and anybody agrees with what he said, I did not watch the episode. In fact, I didn't even watch the clip because I was just blowing through stuff. But tell me what you think on that, and give me some context on it if you saw it. And while I'm waiting for stuff to pop up, if anybody's got anything, and I'll tell you what the thing is with me and Tucker Carlson. I don't not like the guy, man. I dig him a lot, and I like the way he talks and his presentation. I'm not in love with it or anything like that, but he's a good enough guy. I mean, it's not anything like that. The problem with Tucker is I think he made massive strategical mistakes early on in this show that made the show not end up being as good as it could be. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. When he first came out, it was like a ton of bricks. Everybody that went on the show just got spanked, and it was just glorious to watch. He would drop bombs on people, and he would get that smirk on his face, and he would just outright laugh at people, which was great. But like I said, he did that right out the box, okay? And the problem with that, the problem with not building that up as you go, is that nobody's going to want to go on the show. Like, nobody who matters is going to go on the show because nobody wants to look like an idiot. And that's exactly what Tucker Carlson does. That's his whole gig, is making dull-witted left holes look like idiots, which isn't a challenge to anybody, but he does it really well. And he's just not going to, you know what? The thing about him, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't watch, but who does he get? He doesn't get any A-listers. The best show that I actually did see clips from, because I just watched it on purpose, was when he beat up on that silly little dummy girl from Vogue, from Teen Vogue. I don't even know her name because who cares? But with the thigh-high boots, and that was great. I mean, but if that's the best guest you're going to get, like if that's as good as it gets because people, it's like the movie, ever see the movie $1 Million Baby? Or if you're a fan of boxing and you kind of know this dynamic where a hot new young kid comes out and he's a great boxer and he's knocking people out in the first round and he's knocking people out in the second round and nobody can fight with him. And he wins 1, then he wins 3, then he wins 5. Or in the movie She, obviously. That was a great movie, by the way. After a while, it becomes tough to get anybody to come and fight you because nobody wants to look stupid. Nobody wants to get knocked out. And that's what he does, and that's what he did from the start. And I think if he brought it along a little slower, where he was a little more, just toned it down a little bit and didn't go for that kill like he does, I think he could have gone, not that he's not, don't take this the wrong way. Not that he couldn't have gone, he's gone far. Obviously, I'm standing here in the rain talking into my phone. Tucker's doing better than I am. Okay. But I think he could have been more, and I think he could have got, like, A-listers, man. I would love to see Tucker Carlson sit down with Alexandria Circus Monkey. I would love to see him sit down with Jeff Blake. I would love to see him sit down with that bug-eyed freak, Adam Schniff. But he's never going to get that kind of game. If any of those people have been on and I'm wrong, please tell me. I just don't know. But I can't imagine why any of them would want to go on the show for an ass-kicking. Because that's all that's going to end up being. They'll come out of it thinking they won because they don't know from, I lost, you don't hear that from a Democrat. You don't hear that from a lefty because they don't know from losing. That's like the 10 commandments of leftism. Number 1, thou shalt never admit thou art wrong about anything ever. They don't know how to lose, even when they lose. So they'll walk away from the Tucker Carlson show feeling like they won and telling everybody they won. And they'll celebrate and high-five and, yay, that orange anus. But they really lost because everybody who watched it knows they really lost. So nobody wants that. And he's just not going to get those guests because who would go just show up for a beating? So that's my gripe with Tucker. But anybody saw anything on that? Anybody has any thoughts on that? What I said about how Carlson said that Trump maybe doesn't want to get reelected. It's not completely implausible. It seemed like a funny message to put out right now. Maybe it's partially because of that melees I'm feeling over the last couple of weeks where things just seem like we're in a holding pattern and nothing's happening. I don't know. Just give me your feedback on that. If anybody saw that, anybody has any thoughts on it, let me know. And the Bleepnik, I feel like we're in solitary confinement. I'm sorry. I mean, if you really want me to stand out in the rain and get wet, I'll go get wet. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to walk over and look at the statue in a couple of minutes because it's kind of funny. And it was kind of appropriate to something that popped up today. But AJ Hugley, thank you, brother. It's miserable here. It is miserable here, man. That's I love that word, and it's a great word. It is miserable here in every way in New York. So, Kathy Dozier, move south as soon as the kiddos are grown. I'm thinking about it. I don't know where to go, man. I've been in New York my whole life. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like, I don't know where to go. Like, I got no place to go. I got a job here that I've been at for 4 years this week, in fact, that, it puts food on the table and it pays my kids' college and it gets me through. I got to work 7 days a week, but let's not get into all that. So where do I go, man? Where does this, the cool thing is if I could get this popping with Planet Common Sense and maybe something going with the PCS, the live stuff, I could do this from everywhere. I mean, I could go out on a boat 100 miles off the coast and do what I'm doing here. If I can make this happen, that changes things. But man, it's tough to just pick up and go. Retirement is not something that's going to happen for me. They're going to find me dead at work because that's just the way I am. As far as getting out of New York, man, it sounds so good. It just sounds so good. This is such an awful place. And the people running it are just gangsters and hideous, miserable miscreants. And there are better places, Give me some, I don't know, give me some ideas where to go, but that doesn't really mean much because who knows what's going to happen. So going back to the scroll, there's a long paragraph. Mona Evans, creepy Uncle Joe, didn't know it's not okay to put his hands all over other people in today's world. Hello, it wasn't ever okay. Creepy Joe, gropey Joe. I mean, what do you say? It's an ugly situation in and of itself. Because the shit he did, and you could see, like in the pictures, And they're like, oh, well, it's context. Well, you tell me those little girls that were grimacing and wriggling away from him and just repulsed by him in those photos weren't sitting on his lap 5 minutes later. They were in the bathroom washing their hands or washing whatever they could wash because it was creepy. You don't do it's right there in the pictures. Like everybody sees that. Okay, so in and of itself, that's a creepy thing. No question about it. He's got some bad habits that should have been addressed a long time ago. And that is what it is. But what makes it worse is what we said I guess last week about how it's going to be like the theme word, hypocrisy. Because it wasn't too long ago, we were just gutting a completely qualified nominee for the Supreme Court over similar things, lesser things even to some extent. Because, the things that they really hardball accused him of, Kavanaugh, were bullshit. And we all knew they were bullshit. And the people who were coming up with it knew it was bullshit. And it was just a play. But they were killing the guy for it. They were just crushing him. And they were trying to ruin his life. They went after his family. They went after everything. They went after his friends. And it was just ridiculous. It was like a pack of rabid dogs attacking this very decent guy. Now, you got a guy who's not a decent guy by any stretch of the imagination. He's a creepy dude. He's a lefty. That doesn't help. And the same people that were gutting Kavanaugh, 5-6 months ago, are going, oh, it's just Joe. He's what did that hideous old gargoyle Pelosi say? Oh no, it was Feinstein. He's tactile. That's like the unhinged leftist word for he's a touchy gropey douchebag. That should probably not be near little kids. He's tactile. That's the word. It's like how illegal aliens turned into undocumented immigrants and things like that. Like they like to take those words and twist them around and make them a little more palatable for you. So he's not gropey. He's tactile. That was Dianne Feinstein said that, I think. Check me on that if I'm wrong. Tell me. So the hypocrisy is just disgusting. And it's so obvious and so blatant, and they so don't care. So there's so many elements to this thing. Look, Joe Biden is never going to be president of the United States, okay? First of all, he's not even going to be the candidate because Bernie's going to be the candidate. We'll talk about that some other time. I never really did put that all together. I kind of just been chunking it. And anyway, Biden's not going to be the president ever, okay? He's probably just about the worst vice president we have. Well, I don't know. That's a rogues gallery in itself right there. But he's also one of those ones where it was the whole paradigm started like with Dan Quayle, where they come up with a vice president that nobody in the world is ever going to shoot the president because then you end up with this mook. And that was his thing. And that's changed now with Pence, which is a funny thing. It's a cool thing. Like that Pence is a guy who can if something happened to Donald Trump, he could step in and be president. Whereas a guy like Biden wouldn't know what the fuck to do. Or Al Gore, could you imagine? But what I'm saying is, don't be afraid of Joe Biden. Joe Biden's not going to matter a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now, because he's not going to be a player in this. And the funny part of it is, just from a visual perspective, and just from, everything else being objective, you measure him up against everybody else that's throwing their hat in this friggin' circus show. He doesn't look bad comparatively. When you hold him up to a Cory Booker or a Kamala Harris, everybody's got their baggage. Like I said it the other day, man, you have a Democratic presidential field that the top people, the best thing they can claim is they're the least indictable on the list. That's what you're looking at. We're not gonna spend a whole 20 minutes on this. We feel like we're talking about stuff over again. But yeah, man, Gropey Joe, that's an awful thing. I don't think anything's gonna come of it. I don't think anything's gonna happen. But I think he's gonna have a tough time continuing on as a president. I just don't think you're gonna see Gropey Joe in the race for the Democratic nomination. You know what they really should do? Excuse me. They got like 20 people in this race right now, right? Like 20, 18, something like that. Get a couple more. and get 24 and let them have a Hunger Games. Just let them have a fucking Hunger Games and kill each other. And whoever's the survivor at the end is the Democratic nominee. Because you're not going to run on a platform. You're not going to run on policy. You're not going to run on good ideas because you're completely devoid of good ideas. All your ideas are stupid. So what are you going to run on? So I think they should have a Hunger Games. I'd host it. I'll be the Caesar Flickerman for that Hunger Games. I'll dye my hair purple and wear a shiny purple suit, and I'll be the commentator for it. And we'll just have them all go. I don't know. Stacey Abrams, man, she might be tough to take out. You know, you have to double or triple up on her, I think, because she's got a tremendous size advantage over everybody else. I don't know. Who would you pick in Hunger Games? Like, out of all the Democratic candidates for president, you know, they're not gonna. Well, you look to their strong points. Like Kamala Harris could just like bang other people and like kill them while she's banging them. You know, who else is gonna do what? Like some of these guys barely can probably like pick up a sword, like Bernie. But like I said, Bernie doesn't have to worry. So the Democratic, no primaries. We're doing Hunger Games. We're doing the Hunger Games. That's how we're gonna do that. Go and scroll. Roy Becker, the Sierras are expecting 2 feet this weekend. Sorry for that. Everybody's still talking about the weather. I guess I got to go forward. Hey, from Texas, misplaced in Virginia, Triana Buckley Atkins. Hey, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Glad you're back with us. See any newcomers here? The phone's a little wet. It's not scrolling. Kathy Dozier, come to Kentucky. We are much more Texasy. Much more Texasy than what? Like, I didn't see the scroll before that. Mike Petty, I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch Tucker much. So Tucker is just starting some shit. See, that's what I'm talking about. And that's the feeling. That's Candy Lundberg. Tucker's just starting some shit. It doesn't seem like a good time for that. You know, maybe it's a ratings thing. I guess, you know, you gotta work that angle too, I guess, when you're doing that sort of thing. You know, your advertisers want the ratings, and you got to make something happen out of nothing. And it's just like we're rehashing the same bullshit over and over and over again. Alexandria Ocasio Circus Monkey's dumb. How many times are you going to say it? Joe Biden touches little girls and sniffs them. How many times are you going to say? How many times do we talk about that? Mad Max wants to impeach Donald Trump. Oh, wow, really? Who knew? Al Green looks like the Geico caveman. Wow, really? Who knew? We're just talking about the same shit. Something needs to start happening. I just feel like something's, I don't know, man. It's like that, not a calm before the storm, because it's not a calm, man. Everything's still all like fucked up and weird and silly. But it just doesn't seem like a great time to be like provocateuring with something like that on a national television broadcast. I don't know. Again, I didn't see the show, so I just thought it was weird. So, Candy, good look on that. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield, I don't watch any news. Good for you, man. It's depressing. Okay. What do we got? Tucker has been saying weird shit since the Puro debacle. Deborah Patera. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, you almost got to say to yourself, that's got to have something to do with it. That whole thing was weird. Like, they put her back on. And I'm going to call people on this shit, too. You know what? Because you're still looking. I'm not talking about anybody personally. You went right back. They kept it quiet. They gave her 2 weeks off. They told her to be quiet. She apparently agreed to it. And they slipped her back on the air. And it's just all the same shit now. Everybody went right back. That's why boycotts don't work. Because everybody forgets. And they know how to make you forget. They just take it out of your eyes. And they take it out of your ears. And you move on to other things. The deflection and whatever else. And you all forgot. And again, I'm not talking about you. But you all forgot what they did to Jeanine Pirro, what they did to Laura Ingraham a couple of months ago, like I've talked about before. You forget the shit that they do, and you let them get away with it. And they're going to do it again because you let them get away with it. And that, again, goes right back to the whole Democrat paradigm. We're going to get away with what we can because you'll let us. We're going to make you forget about this. We're going to blame other people for things and distract you from the issue at hand, so you forget about it and keep watching our show and keep voting for us and keep patronizing our sponsors, okay? So forget boycotts, man. That doesn't work. Going back to the thing with Tucker, yeah, I think that probably has a lot to do with it. I think that's certainly a valid point. That it's not so much scripted. Again, I really got to watch the clip, or at least not if not the whole segment, at least a couple of clips of it before I really form an opinion on it. But I got a pretty good gut about these things, and it just seemed to me like something where everybody was like, just let's tread carefully and let's just let's let everything get back to normal and get the sponsors taken care of. One of the nice things about not having any sponsors except myself is I don't give a fuck, and I'll say whatever I want. And it's a beautiful thing. It's very liberating. So, just so you know, this is Rick Amato. Just so you know, I'm drinking a beer for you. Thanks, man. You're a good guy. Appreciate that. Have two. Mary Gunning, I miss O'Reilly on Fox. I never liked Bill O'Reilly. Again, I'm funny, and you can't go by me because, I mean, if you don't know, I'm a little odd by now. You just haven't been here long enough. I never, ever, ever liked Bill O'Reilly's presentation, man. I thought he was like an American version of Piers Morgan. There's days where I think Piers Morgan's hilarious, and then there's days I just want to stab him in the neck. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way, except maybe not about the hilarious part. Like when he was judging on Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent too, I thought he was a funny guy. I mean, he had great lines. He's a little pompous, but he was a character. But then he says something just completely ridiculous, and then you hate him. It's like, you stupid Brit. Didn't we have a war like 200 something years ago? So I don't have to listen to your shit anymore. But O'Reilly always came across that way. I just never liked him. And the thing about it is, I'll shut off to somebody just because of their delivery or just because of the way they talk. I'll tell you the biggest one that happened recently, semi-recently, was that girl Tommy Lahren. Like, Tommy or Tommy, I don't know. I never really watched the show. I get it. And I think the whole concept is excellent. To have a young, attractive, conservative female, eye candy, call it what it is. That's what that is. But she had a horrible voice. It was monotone. It was somewhat arrogant. It was forced. It didn't flow. It sounded like she was reading. And I just there's no way I'm going to warm up to this kid. Like, I'm just not going to get into it. And O'Reilly was like that too. Like, he was off-putting to me. The message was right. And he's a guy, like I said, like Sean Hannity or like Tucker. He didn't take a lot of crap. But I never warmed up to him just because of delivery. So, take that. Don't go by my opinions. My opinions, I don't know. They speak for themselves, I suppose. So, I'm not paying much attention to what you guys are writing. Oh, what happened? Okay. Susan Palminteri, Piro's opening monologue on Saturday was awesome. Yeah, I saw it came back, and I meant to go sit down and watch it. I never got around to it. Maybe I'll check that out. You should turn the camera around and let us converse with your face. Triana Buckley Atkins. It's not going to be like that. You want to take this like it's a radio show. All right? Because I don't want you. I said this before, and I don't know if it came up as like cocky. I don't mean it to in any way, but I don't want you to look at me. I want you to listen to me. And if you're looking at me, you're not going to listen as hard. And if you can't see me, you're going to have to listen harder to what I say. So it's kind of a tool that this tool is using to make the words mean more. It's the words are the most important thing to me. The words are my church with the writing and everything else. So that's why I don't do that. You want to... Okay. Hello. PCS Laundry Live. All right, how was that? Triana, hi, that was for you. Hope you're not disappointed. Mike Petty, maybe most people don't want to mix it up with Tucker, but that's exactly what I'm saying. They don't. Because he came on like a ton of bricks right from the jump and just started slaying people. Like, who wants that? Who's going to go in there? What high profile, what Democratic presidential candidate is going to go on Fox News with Tucker Carlson for a beating? Because that's all you're going to get. And nobody's going to do that. And I think he closed a lot of doors on himself with that aggressiveness and with that aggressive nature and his approach and his mocking and his beatings. What he did to that girl was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Whatever her name was, that goofy chick from Teen Vogue. She's like, Ariana Grande and Legal Immigration. makeup, thigh-high boots. We're going to cover the Justin Bieber concert. And then we're going to talk about Obamacare. Come on, one or the other, stupid. You're not anywhere near equipped to talk about anything intellectual. So stick with the thigh-high boots, like Tucker said, you dope. That's your forte. Stick with makeup tips, dummy. No, I'm sorry. She already got that beaten. It's like what I'm saying. Like, Tucker just smacked her around. Who wants that? Like, nobody wants to get that beaten. Nobody wants to be publicly humiliated, especially when they're going on other TV shows and trying to be taken seriously, or even more so, trying to run for president. Like, you're not going to get the A-listers. The only one who I think might still fall for it, and I'll give everybody a chance. Go ahead and guess. Her name is the Circus Monkey. She might be dumb enough to think that she could go on the Tucker Carlson show and come out of that unscathed. And I'm going to tell you that the idiot's life would be fundamentally changed forever from an hour on the set with Tucker Carlson. Because he'll crush him from the jump. Like, he's going to be laughing at her in the first minute. It's not even going to go a segment. He'd make her cry. I swear if I had $1 million, I would offer it to her to have her come here and meet me in White Plains and sit right on that little wall right over there and let me talk to her in front of you people and just let her have it and say, what fucking business do you think you have being in Congress, you dummy? You're ridiculous. You're an idiot. Your ideas are all terrible. Every one of them. You haven't been right about one thing yet. You got everything. You don't know the Constitution. You don't know the laws. You didn't know the branches of government. How the fuck did you slip into the Capitol building, into a seat in Congress with a vote, a security clearance? Oh, the friggin' humanity of you having a security clearance. How did that happen? It doesn't make any sense. I forgot she was sitting there, like, I'm going to point the camera. You dope. You, right there. You imaginary person. You're an idiot. Get out of Congress. Alexandria, occasionally coherent. Oh, man, can I bitch for a minute, like, and not trying to sound too whiny? Some of these same names coming up, and oh, they're so bad. That's a terrible name. It's nothing personal. Who was that? Triana? That's an awful name. We got to be more creative than that. And the memes. How many? I love you guys. I know you're not doing it on purpose, and you don't get the perspective on this that I do. But if I see that meme where she says, "Can I ask a stupid question?" and then Trump says, "Better than anybody I know," I think if I see that meme pop up on a thread one more time, I'm just going to jump off the roof. You guys don't get that. Like, it's still fresh for you. But I get 5 people posting on everything I put up. I'm tired of it. So back off on that. All right. I'm doing a quick time check. We got about 20 minutes to go. We're going to scroll. Who's that? Kathy Dozier. Come to Kentucky. We have horse racing and bourbon. We got horse racing here. Not great. Well, we got Saratoga's it's pretty far away. It's not that close. We used to have a pretty good harness track here. I don't even know if they still run there anymore. At the Yonkers Raceway. And they have now a casino there, which I just don't go there because it's way too easy to get there. And it's way too easy to lose all my money. So I try and stay away from there. I used to go play blackjack a lot. Now I used to go down to Atlantic City like once a month and play blackjack. And I'll tell you the one time, I can't remember, what do they call it? The casino in Yonkers, Empire City, and it's just like a video casino. But it's a funny thing, man. Like, when I used to go to Atlantic City, you get that sound in a casino. Like, whoever's gone to the casino, you know what I'm talking about, with all the bells and the whistles, and it was like ding 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 ding. Like, you hear all kinds of sounds. It's like, it's very electric and it's very exciting for a background. This casino in Yonkers, Empire City, it came out it was all video. It was all video gaming. Like, there were no table games and there were no things like that. Like, everything was video. So I went there one time, and I'm going to tell you a story about that. the first thing that struck me after about being in there for about 30 seconds was, instead of all the bells and the whistles and all that kind of casino stuff you used to, you walk in there and all you hear is just a constant hum, because all the machines make the same sound. It was very annoying. I did go one time, and this is before they had the table games. They got blackjack now, and that's why I don't go now. But I went there one time, and I swear to you, I went in there with $100. I took a bus, because the bus leaves you out right in front, 20 minutes from my house to the casino. Got off the bus, went in, put the money in the machine. In 15 minutes, I won $780. I was out of the casino within a half hour, back on the bus, and went back home. And you know what? That was the best possible day imaginable to retire from casino gambling, because you're never going to do that again. That $780 would have been gone the next time I went if I had gone back. And especially now with the blackjack, you know, they got live blackjack now, so I don't mess with that shit no more. I used to play pretty hard down in Atlantic City, and I'm just not in any kind of position to do that anymore, so. Timeout. This sucks. I suck. I'm unprofessional. Somebody send me a Zippo. Alright, fucking forget it. Okay, I'm gonna walk over and talk to you about the statue real quick. Looks like it stopped raining, so we'll get out of that boring little card. I feel like I was walking the yard like in prison. Not that I've been to prison, but it's what I imagine it's like. So anyway, we're going over here by the Westchester County Courthouse. So I want you to look at this statue because it's fucking funny. It's a good statue, man. Like, all right, let's get over there and then I'll tell you. And I think we're going to start walking back, because it's probably going to take me about 10 minutes to slow walk back over to the starting point. Maybe I lost a shoe. Hi. I see things. Okay, so the statue is of Martin Luther King Jr. And it's actually a pretty impressive piece of work. And I'm purposely cutting the head off right there so you can just see the statue, and we'll take a look at the base of it. And there's just nothing against Dr. King, because, you know, at the end of the day, he seemed like a pretty good guy with a really good message and a really good way of delivering that message that worked. And it probably got him killed, but it's just not about Dr. King in any way. But I just want you to look at this. And they scroll up. Everything's just looking so impressive and stately. And even the face came out good, because a lot of times they fuck up the face. You ever see that one of Lucille Ball that looked like Ron Howard's little brother? It was awful. I'll post that on PCS. It was pretty funny. But I'm going to go up one more step now, and I hope you can see it and appreciate it on the video as much as I can standing here in front of it. His arm just keeps going and going and going and going. And his arm is literally as long as the rest of his whole body. Like, I would have had to turn the phone to get the whole statue in, because his arm is like 12 feet long. And his hand is the size of a sewer cat. His hand's twice the size of his head. So, I don't know if I can't draw a doodle on a piece of paper. So I appreciate art and stuff, but it seems to me the disproportionate nature of this thing should have been noticed. I don't know. I'm not an art critic, but I just thought it was funny. He's got a big giant hand. Like, I could sit on that hand. Not, anybody could. But so Dr. King with a big giant 12-foot arm and a big sewer cap hand. All right, so let's take a walk. I'm going to start heading back, and I'll walk and scroll and try not to get hit by a car all at the same time. I'm getting rain on the phone. What do we got? Mom was never mean to us, just people fucked with her cause. Elaine Arnett Danger. I don't know what the context is on that. I'm sorry, I haven't been following. What the hell was Barry doing in friggin' Germany with that evil Merkel? What the hell are they planning? I'm glad you brought that up. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield. Thank you for bringing that up, because I did notice that again today. It was kind of in passing. Man, this guy's grimy. This guy is just the grimiest. He's a crime boss. On the grandest scale in the history of the civilized world. This guy's a crime boss. He's the grimiest guy ever. Who knows what they were talking about? But I'll tell you the one thing, was that it wasn't anything good. And it wasn't anything that's going to be positive for America or the Trump administration. I don't know. I don't know what he was talking about, but he shouldn't be there. That's not the right thing to do. I'm going to stop talking for a minute because we're going by this giant exhaust right. You're not going to hear a word I say. This thing is loud as hell. I really kind of wanted to stand it over here because it's nice and dry. But obviously, that would not have worked out as I pass by. And I'm not going to yell. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing in Germany. He shouldn't be in Germany. Anybody think he should? I don't. He should be well, he should be in a federal penitentiary for whatever crimes, we haven't really gone into him enough to really specify what crimes we really like. Not like Hillary, we know all the shit she did. The whole world knows what that crotch did. But he's been a little more insulated and a little more protected. So you don't really have anything to pin on. He's just a grime agent. Maybe that's a good word for him. He's a grime agent. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't like it. I got to look into it, maybe read the article a little more and see if I can get a little better spin on what they're alleging that was going on, which is certainly not sincere and genuine. It's a story because that's how that works. But yeah, that's a good catch there. I was kind of wondering about that myself. Brian Craig, I think Obama is going to try to be the next UN Secretary General. They will hand him the keys to everything. I'll tell you what I wanted. I wanted Trump to nominate Hillary Clinton for that position just so they could tell her, hey, you're going to be great at this and we're glad to have you. We just got to get past this one last obstacle. You have to do a background check so we can give you security clearance just to watch her face drop, knowing that she's not going to get a security clearance to be the UN. Okay, so that's not funny at all. Like the whole thing about Obama being, I think that's a very good theory. And it makes sense. Like again, it's just nothing good. It's nothing good can come of that. I just don't know what to say about it. Like, obviously I don't feel good about it. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think him doing anything in that of that nature is going to be a positive thing. And it's going to make it harder if things come down and if the Obama crime family gets broken. It's going to make it harder to bring him home to justice, because he'll have an office and they'll be like, well, he's the UN Secretary General, like you can't go after a president. They got certain protections, and that could be a big part of the. Well, I don't know if he's scared. I don't know if he thinks that way. If he's scared of being brought home, but having an office to kind of protect himself, I'm just off on that. I mean, that's a minor thing. There's a lot of horrible things can come down from him getting hooked up with the UN. The UN is it's something I've been trying to get my head around, like what their whole role in this whole thing we're going through right now is with the sedition. Sedition. Say it. Sedition. Say it with me. Sedition. Word of the day. Word of the year. I know that the UN is going to play a role in this. At some point, are you going to see the blue helmets coming up the street with tanks? Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next month. But I don't think that's an outrageous reach. I don't think that is a conspiracy theory to think things like that, because I think it's very possible. And you look at stuff like, we have always, all of us have just grown up here in America watching the news, and you see things like there's turmoil in such and such a country, and it's an awful leader, and he's oppressing his people, and he's genocide and killing people, and he needs to be taken down, and all this. And we watch that from our perspective on CNN or on, whatever news station you watch, and you see that. And I always wonder if that same dynamic is taking place in other technologically advanced countries where they're getting told that same story about us. There's turmoil in the streets and you have a tyrant in charge. And he's killing people and he's doing this and he's doing that. And it makes me wonder if, that's the story that's being told. And that's the kind of thing where the UN would use that as their in. Say, okay, well, we have to go in and do something about this atrocity that's going on in the United States of America. So when you hear stuff about, like the Human Rights Board for the UN, if that's what they're called, I don't remember if that's the name or not. And you look at the people that are on that, like the countries that are on that, like that hack people's hands off for stealing and stone people to death and throw gays off roofs, are on the Human Rights Council. Now, how do you look at that and say, this is right? Oh, that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense. It's the opposite of making sense. It's like, let's make as little fucking sense as we possibly can with this by putting these names on a Human Rights Council. And that feels like a setup. And now, as soon as you start getting deep into shit like that, the first thing out the box that they come back with, oh, you're a conspiracy. Put your tinfoil hat away. You're a conspiracy. And this, it's not, man. Like, the best conspiracy in the world is going to be the one that everybody thinks you're a conspiracy theorist. Everybody's going to think you're a conspiracy theorist if you talk about it. That's the best conspiracy you could come up with. So it feels like that to me. And I don't have anything tangible to say, look to this, look at that, look outside of what I just said about, like, there's just so many things that they do that just, like, it makes you shake your head. Like Sudan is on the Human Rights Council. Iran on the Human Rights Council. How much longer could you possibly get? That's like putting, like, Somalia on the council to fight piracy. It just doesn't make sense, and it scares me a little bit, because you're bringing things to a whole new level when people from outside the country get involved in this. If people from outside the country, if the UN gets involved in this, and if people are being told things that are not true, that we have a tyrant and it's a genocide and people are oppressed, and if that's the presentation people are getting in other parts of the world, and the UN takes that and says, we need to act on this, we need to act upon this, that's a problem. That's a big, fat, scary problem. Because you're going to see those blue helmets coming down the street one day. And that's a terrible thing for us. It's not America. So, we are on the block of the laundromat. I'm going to do one last quick stroll and see if there's anything that's just going to set me off. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I don't know. I'm just depressed with this weather, so. Alright. Manitel Abram and Tucker Carlson beats their asses with such a gentlemanly demeanor and smile. I think sometimes he kicks his interviewer's ass and they don't even realize it until they watch the video later. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. It doesn't matter if you know right there. They don't know. These people they read scripts. They're not self-aware about things like that. They walk away from Tucker thinking, boy, I kicked his ass, when in fact, he was like an idiot. But, beat a dead horse with that, pal. Deborah Patera, Fox is changing. Donna Brazile is on Fox. Donna Brazile is on Fox. Can you believe that? Like, another person who, by all rights, should be in prison? Probably. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Jim, where are you? But she gets a job on Fox. It's like bizarro world, man. It's like, what are we doing? And we let it happen, man. That's something we got to get really, really deep into and do some self-reflection on why this stuff is allowed to happen. Why somebody like Donna Brazile ends up working for Fox. Why AOC? I said AOC. I can't believe that's the first time I ever said AOC. I swore I wasn't going to do that, but it was just easier. Why Alexandria Ocasio-Circus monkey is in Congress? Why did we let that happen? Why have we let that idiot Swalwell get away with saying we have nukes and we'll nuke you? Whatever it was. We gotta. we're in a stage of this tantrum now, and I was thinking about this, and I probably should have jumped onto this a little earlier on. We've been going through a tantrum for 2.5 years now, and a lot of you have kids, or you had nieces, or you had, you've been around kids, and you've seen one of those tantrums, okay? My guys are pretty good. They weren't awful like that, but every kid has it. And it starts out like, I want this. No, I really want this. No, you have to, and it just builds, and it builds, and it builds. Those tantrums are over in 15 minutes typically. And it gets loud, and it gets screaming, and it gets whatever. This one's been going on for 2.5 years now, okay? And it's getting worse and more irrational and more loud and more silly every single day. And the things they're talking about now, it's just, you got to be kidding me. So we're at the point now where they're laying on the ground, kicking their heels, holding their breath, and screaming, and they're screaming or holding their breath at the same time. That's where we're at now. And we're at the point where, like, the people around you are like, I don't know if I'm putting this the right way. But we let this get there. We let this get there. And there's got to be a point where we say, okay, you know what? This is enough. And you would have thought, like, the Mueller report dropping, and Mueller saying that he wasn't recommending any further indictments. You think it's over. It's like, all right, get it now. It's been 2 years. Get it. You lost. You didn't find anything. There's no Russian collusion. On the Republican side, anyway. Get over it. You lost. Let this be over. Let's move on. Stop obstructing your president from making your country better. Stop with the sedition. Stop trying to bring your own government down. But we don't. We don't do that. We go online and we bitch about it. And I'm just as guilty as anybody. Why do we do that? And it's something to think about during the week, maybe, and we'll get onto it next week. We'll talk about it during the week, but we need to do a little self-reflection. Man, it's got to stop. This has got to come to an end, and this country's got to go back to functioning. Because we're not even doing that, man. He wants to close the border. They're not letting them do it. He wants to do this. They're not letting him do it. And it's for sport. It's not even real. It's not even for a reason. It's because he's Donald Trump. That's sedition. That's pure sedition, man. We got to start getting it, and we got to start responding to it. We got to start getting people out of office. We got to start demanding it. Back at the laundromat. It's pretty empty. I could have done the show in there tonight, I guess, but we're going to bring this to an end. Week 9 of PCS Laundry Live. It wasn't as festive and fun. I got a little angrier today. I guess it's the weather and the depression, like I said before, but thank you all for coming out and standing in the rain with me. And I did not get to a lot of people tonight, but I will definitely get on this tomorrow morning, and I'll talk to everybody and answer all your questions there. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Again, thank you for your support of Planet Common Sense on Facebook. Went almost the whole week without any bans, except we got off it early in the week. I think 3 days in a row now I didn't get banned. So that's a good day. And I still only have one of my split personalities is in custody at the moment. So that's a good day too. So Facebook wasn't too bad to me this week. But I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, has cool plans, and has better weather than I have. And thanks for supporting the show. I hope you're enjoying it. Please let me know in the comments what you think we can do to make it better. If you liked it, say so. But if you didn't like it, say so. Don't be afraid to say that too, because it's a work in progress. Trying to make this thing better and better as we go. And I feel I can get a handle on it. Maybe enough to start doing that. We're going to talk to Hector in a couple more weeks, because we talked to him last week. I was talking to him after the show about it, and he's all in. So that'll be cool. And I know a lot of you were asking for it too, so we'll do that. But please, let me know what you're thinking. If you hate it, say you hate it. If you love it, say you love it. Everything in between. Anything you tell me, I can help make things better. So I'll appreciate anything you got to contribute. And that wraps up tonight. Everybody have a great weekend. I am